FightHype.com is back again with my man Paulie Malignaggi. Actually, I thought I was heading out of here to go chill, but then we find out that there's some new footage of you coming out. Obviously, we just saw on ESPN the I don't even know what to call that, the old footage of what was it, like 60 seconds or whatever of you guys sparring. I mean,
as you can see, you know they have no consecutive running footage. It's the same thing. I think this time they really got like everything they could have had. You know, like I really had a hard time remembering anything else. So a lot of those things that were things that I was thinking about, but you know, a lot of it is repeat footage. A lot of it is just, you know, the last of any remaining footage that they had. And you gotta keep in mind, there's still about 35 minutes left in that sparring. That's it.
Right.
They got everything they have.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, I just gotta laugh about it. You know, like I said a couple weeks ago, it's cute. You know, he's trying so hard to make everybody believe in him and make everybody believe he can win this fight. You know, between he and I, we know what really happened in that sparring to begin with, you know. It's adorable. You know, he's like the little engine that could. You know, he's trying so hard, like, root for me, man. I can do this. I can do this. Get your chance Saturday night, my man. Don't forget your balls. Don't forget you. You don't want to forget those on Saturday night. Don't want to forget those like you tend to do. Don't forget those.
Yo, what is that something that happened in sparring? The bring your balls?
You know, when I was putting some shots on him in sparring, you know, I could see like the folding pattern he has, just like he did in the ADS fight. So, you know, he stopped talking back. He stops even returning fire in spots. You know, you can tell like the fold is going through his mind. You can kind of read it. You know what I mean? Bro, I grew up in old school Brooklyn, bro. I know a bitch when I see one. You know what I mean? Like. So, you know, you can start to see that there's doubts starting to creep into his mind, and he's starting to, you know, he doesn't have a very good poker face when it comes to that, you know? So I was mentioning that during sparring about what a bitch he is and how he's got no balls and whatnot, and don't fold, don't go folding. So, you know, and he has no balls and whatnot. So when I saw him the other day, you know, I just wanted to remind him about the discussions we had when we were sparring, because they were pretty much discussions we were having when we were sparring, you know. You want to be all tough, now it's fight week. Remember what I told you when we sparred? You don't want to forget those balls. Very important. This week's a very important week for you. You know, you're going to go through some tough times. And when you go through the tough times, it's very important to have your balls with you. Don't forget those at home.
You know, as a fighter, is that something you can sense in other fighters? Like,
Yeah. And it's funny because not only when you can sense it, they're insecure about it too. Look how insecure he was. When he left that little argument he had with me, he almost got into a fight with another fan on the way leaving.
Oh yeah.
It was under his skin. You know what I mean? A fighter with no balls knows he has no balls. He just doesn't want the world to know he has no balls. You know, so it was like it's one of those situations where, you know, you feel like you're pulling his card. You know, and he doesn't want that card pulled. You know, pull up another card. How he's brash, how he's bold, how he's talented. Because you know what, he's got some talent. But don't pull up the no balls card. He wants to keep that one at the bottom of the deck. He doesn't want you to pull it. So you know, he knows I've seen it. He knows I've seen that card. I've seen his cards already. You know what I mean? And so he hates the fact that I bring out that card every time.
do you think that's something that Floyd sees? Because I know during the final press conference, he kept saying, you know, you got to be able to take it.
You got to read between the lines. I definitely think Floyd sees it. You know, as a fighter, you see it. You see it in somebody has that bitch in their eye. You know, like when they're trying too hard. You know, when, you know, it's fight week. You know, Floyd's been through many of these fight weeks. Conor's been through many of these fight weeks. Why is Conor still trying so hard? He's supposed to be chilling, waiting for the fight to go. Look how chill Floyd was. You know, Floyd's been through this a million times. Conor has too. Why is Conor so all worked up for it, trying to still convince everybody? Of course he sees that bitch in his eye. That's why Floyd just reminded him in that subtle way. We all know you give it. Everybody keeps talking about how you give it. You know, you supposedly have this big power. And you know, you hurt guys and whatnot. You give it, but can you take it? Because that's what a fight involves. A fight involves giving, but a fight also involves taking. And when you fight a fighter as good as Floyd Mayweather, as talented as Floyd Mayweather, you are going to get plenty of taking as well. And one thing that's underrated about a guy as talented as Floyd Mayweather, because people get so caught up in the talent, is the mean streak Floyd Mayweather has. The guy is a motherfucker in the ring. He's a guy you don't want to be stuck with inside that square circle if you don't have the ability to hang with him. If you don't have the stamina to continue. The last thing you want to do is be tired, be beaten up, and have Floyd Mayweather walking you down, talking to you, reminding you that you're a bitch. The last thing you want to do, especially when you know inside that you're a bitch. Now he's pulling your card as he's bringing that out of you. You know, so I think it makes Conor a little nervous. You know, Conor has the intensity to him, but he needs to know how to manipulate it correctly in order for him to be successful in this fight. And right now, it seems like both the physical and the mental battles being won by Floyd Mayweather.
Are you surprised that they went ahead and released that extra footage?
I think they're just trying to convince the public that he's the goods, you know, and you know, I think...
Really? You think they still have to do that?
Well, clearly they do, you know. There's an insecurity there, you know. They know what they have, you know. I think the problem here is this. I think you sell Conor on the intensity. Don't sell Conor on the tactical stuff. Don't tell Conor how good he is, because he's not good, you know. So you can't fake that. You know, people seen him shadow box. People seen him work out. You know, you guys like Teddy Atlas, so you can call him out. Look, see how ridiculous he looks. Teddy's a knowledgeable, astute boxing guy. You know, so don't try to sell him on. You're selling him on the wrong thing. You keep pulling these videos out. You took every highlight you could out of 36 minutes, and you only got 1 minute. Every highlight you got out of 36 minutes, every one, and you came up 1 minute. That's it. You know what I mean? So stop, because you're making yourself look worse. People are pulling your card now. They're starting to realize they're not stupid. The public is not as stupid as you may think. You know, so stop trying to sell him on that ability. Start selling him on the intensity, the youth. Sell him on the properties that make him possibly dangerous. They're going about it the wrong way for me.
You know, I that's a valid point. They may be doing that. I feel like they're doing it as insurance, because no matter how bad he may look against Floyd, he's supposed to. He's supposed to. He just fought the best ever, Floyd Mayweather, yada yada. You know what I mean? So whatever Floyd potentially does to him, you know, if it goes the way that Floyd thinks it's going to go, having them put out this footage of you know, the knockdown and all that crap, they can always come back to that and say, yeah, he lost to Floyd, but look what he did to a former two-time world champion and da-da-da-da. So
yeah, maybe if they're trying to continue to sell this boxing product, it's possible they may try to go that route, you know. But when you build everything on a house of cards, you have no real foundation. At the end of the day, this entire spectacle by Team McGregor was built on a house of cards. There was not a single thing that they put out to the public that was actually evident of having any real foundation. You may fall for it. Most people, a lot of groupies, they want to fall for it. CNN was telling the United States to hold America during the election. Hillary Clinton was up comfortably during the election. And people had a choice, you know. They could go for the real polls, or they could keep watching CNN because that's what they want to hear. Even though she was losing, they kept saying she was winning, and then she lost. Well, you wanted to hear that the whole time. So maybe it's the case with these McGregor fans, these UFC fans in general, MMA fans in general. Maybe deep down you probably know he's not that good, but you don't want to believe that. So you're looking to look at something, somebody to tell you, no, it's okay. He's good. He's all right. So you're going to have to see it for yourself. When it happens for yourself, maybe you become a little bit more disappointed. Or maybe you say, deep down I probably should have known. Just like they should have known for the election, right? It's kind of a similar parallel, I see.
You know, in boxing, I know there's like a code of ethics when it comes to sparring and in the gym. Same thing with, you know, martial arts. I mean, they have their ethics and, you know, their teachings and beliefs. But in this particular situation, we have a promotional company. Because it wasn't McGregor that released it, it's the UFC that released it. Does that say anything about them, the fact that they would, you know, take something from a sparring session like that and twist it and turn it and use it to promote?
It was Team McGregor because Dana, you know, they just gave it to Dana to release it, you know, because when it came to trying to leave the other repetitive, redundant footage that they try to give Showtime, it came from Team McGregor, it didn't come from Dana, you know what I mean? So they probably gave Dana that footage to release it himself that first time, you know? I don't think there's an ethics code with this guy, you know. I think he marches to the beat of his own drum. He doesn't respect anybody, he doesn't have any ethics for the sport or for people, you know? There's definitely an ethics in combat sports, and that's when the stuff is true. There's really an ethics when the stuff is not true. That I've never even heard of them. I've never even heard of anybody in my life doing this. Actually inventing stories, editing videos editing a video so well of a situation where in real time when we were there, no one in the gym even had an inkling of a thought that it was a knockdown when it happened. It was such a casual thing. We kept going, we got up, and it was fine. And you sparred with a guy in half-ass shape and got your ass beat. Are you not ashamed? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
You know, I know at the arrivals, you got a chance to bump into Joe Cortez. You were bumping into a lot of people at the Grand Arrivals.
Sure was.
But you did you ran into Joe Cortez, and you made it a point to tell him tell the truth.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Joe is gagged up, man. Joe is gagged up, and I think Joe is loyal to those that are paying him. At the end of the day, it's a character thing. You know what I mean? He's not going to say it one way or the other. He's going to keep quiet. Nobody's going to get it out of it. I think Joe's given a couple of interviews already at this point. Nobody's gotten anything out of him on that sparring session, right? So I think at day's end, he's very praising of Conor. It makes sense. They're the ones paying him. They're the ones that gave him the money. They're the ones giving him this opportunity. So, of course, what are you going to say? Are you going to talk bad about the guy? No, of course you're going to talk good about the guy as much as you can, So he's avoiding the real questions while jumping around and trying to answer the ones he wants to answer. Make himself look good and maybe make Conor look good because Conor's the one that paid him.
Yeah. The whole, again, we talked about the code of ethics in boxing and stuff like that. But what about the brotherhood of boxing? Do you feel like the boxing community? I know they kind of bonded together when McGregor put out the workout video and he was doing the rubber arms thing. It seemed like the whole boxing community bonded together to have a good laugh about that. But in this particular situation, when you got another team putting together clips of sparring footage that we all know. Listen, man, I've seen a ton of sparring sessions where guys get hit. I don't care how good you are, you get hit.
Of course.
And if you take those clips here and there, it's very easy to piece together 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and make it look like you got your ass beat.
Of course.
Are you surprised that more people in the boxing community didn't kind of speak up on that?
Yeah. That took me back a little bit. Took me. Maybe take a step back a little bit. They actually, didn't take a second to double check the video, maybe slow down the footage, maybe say this doesn't make any sense. This happening to a guy with such a good background like Malignaggi. This guy just started. Nobody took a second to edit to check out how much it was edited, how much it was slowed down, and when you slow it down, you can actually see nothing's happening. It's done very well. It was edited very well. Nobody took the time to say, you have 20 seconds here. Where's the other 35 and a half minutes? It was interesting. I thought it was interesting, but I feel like people's true colors really come out. I think when you finally started seeing enough footage of it slowed down, I think some of the people did end up coming around to it if they watched it. But by then, it's probably a little late. You know what I'm saying? By then, I've already seen your true colors. You've already made sure you've said what you said. Some people still haven't come around. Some people still haven't even watched the video in slow motion. Some people haven't questioned any of it. They just assume that's what it is. But again, I think when you're in boxing, you should be a little smarter than that. You should know the technical stuff and the tactical stuff. Maybe I thought better of some of these people, but I'm glad, if anything, the positive came out of it is I've seen people's true colors in this business, and those are things I'm not going to forget.
Wow. Paulie, I appreciate you giving me another quick little interview on all the happenings going on this week, man. I almost feel like this is fucking McGregor versus Malignaggi.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future.
We'll see.
We'll make it happen.
If he comes out with any kind of health to him first, we want to wish him the best coming out of this fight. We don't want him to get any serious injuries or anything like that. You don't play boxing, and that's one thing people sometimes find out when they get in there. This is just strikes. This is just head blows. Some body shots, but a lot of head blows. It's 36 minutes of just strikes. It's very dangerous. People die doing this shit. People get seriously hurt doing this shit. So first and foremost, hope all the fighters come out safely. But if McGregor comes out and he's all right to fight again, we'll consider it. We'll see what happens.
Wow, that's
as long
crazy.
as he doesn't get embarrassed. Which,
Even if he does get embarrassed, he's still probably be a nice payday. So
yeah. We'll use him as boxing pinata. We'll see. We'll use him as a pinata.
what do you think that does? A million pay-per-view buys?
I don't know right now. You know, I gotta be honest. I think right now it's the most talked about matchup. You know, in sports.
It really is. It really
Combat
is.
Sports.
It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
fucking that
We
confrontation was on ESPN.
Yeah,
and-
and we've taken it to another level. All, you know, by stuff that I could have never imagined. You know, it just kind of started happening. You know, I'm kind of a stubborn guy. I don't back away. He seems to be kind of similar. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, I can read through somebody. You know, I'm from Brooklyn, bro. I was raised in that Brooklyn, not this new Brooklyn. I was raised in that Brooklyn.
Yo, that's funny. You said New Brooklyn. What do you mean by that? I think I know what you mean by that, but what do you mean by New Brooklyn?
New Brooklyn, you can't even rep toughness if you're New Brooklyn. You know, they changed Brooklyn, they gentrified it. You know, anybody born in Brooklyn, probably after the mid '90s, the late '90s, early 2000s, like I don't know if you can really rep it the same way. You know, it's not that kind of Brooklyn. You know, but
It's very
you were in Brooklyn when I was a
yuppie-ish.
teenager. Yeah, if you were in Brooklyn when I was a teenager when I was born, I was Brooklyn. That was when people with character came out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and people with toughness came out of it.
Wow.
And again, you learn to read people a different way. You know, and I think Conor doesn't like me pulling his card. He gets mad about it because he knows I gotta read through him.
That's that old school Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, Paulie. Appreciate you, bro.
All right.